Hello tubers, this is KingGrimlock back once again for another Grimgram, and first off, as ever, a little bit of housekeeping. A big thank you goes out to Andy at Kapow Toys for supplying these two bad boys to me in his sale last week. Absolutely fantastic. The link will be about there, I imagine. Yes, brilliant price, brilliant items, and a great guy to communicate with. Yeah, fantastic lad. Go visit the shop, get some bargains. It's well worth it. And secondly, I would like to point you in the way of the Moonbase 2 forum, and in turn, the Moonbase 2 podcast. They have just hit the 100 shows, and the 100th show has been a star-studded spectacular, with fantastic names from the world of Transformers comics, cartoons, voice actors. It's just an amazing array, and a real testament to what those guys have done. And because if you've checked out that and that, you can go and check out this, which is the Moonbase 2 podcast channel. And as Mr. Camel Prime says on there quite early on, we will be doing comic reviews, which I am part of, so I'd love to hear your input from that, guys, and get the feedback from that as well. But let's get on with these, boys, shall we? This is what we're here for. This is the meat and potatoes of the show. I am doing both of them together, Alternity, Cliff, and Bumble. Cliff Jumper and Bumblebee to you and I. I'm doing them together because the only thing different in the moulds are the head moulds. The head sculpts are the only difference between these two, other than the obvious of the paint job. I didn't see the point in doing two videos on them, so I thought I'd just do them both together. First off, we'll start with Bumble, who is a very flat yellow. It doesn't come across on the camera. Actually, he looks a lot lighter on the camera than he actually is. It's quite a solid yellow colour. He's a Suzuki Swift, and I think the most important thing to point out straight away is the Alternity line, small Binaltech alternators, and are hugely detailed. I mean, this is so accurate, it's scary. Down to go back in. Sculpted engine. All four doors, with a little bit of persuasion, admittedly. Open. You have, if you can see in there, sculpted interior, and a sculpted, it's quite difficult to pick up, darn it, sculpted rear seats, and then in the back, if you'd be so kind, please. Takes a little bit of persuading, this one, because it's part of the transformation more than a definite open-close panel, but behind that he has a boot, and as you can see, the detail on it is unbelievable and unbelievably real-world accurate. You know, indicators on the wing mirrors, the Suzuki branding, the detail, the sculpt detail on the front and on the back, radiators, grills, whatever, rubber wheels, which of course turn, clear plastic on all the windows. You know, you have some robot kibble showing through the windows, but overall these sculpts are amazing. Even on the underside, it's fantastic. I mean, yes, you can see up and straight through the window, unfortunately. Look, that's clear. But other than that, I mean, it's fantastic detail on the robot mode itself. The fact that these parts go directly into the exhaust on the outside, yeah, you can tell that's his head. But everything's sort of trying to do best to cover up. You can see the underside of the engine, and it's supposed to, you know, feel like the engine block. The detail is immense. Cliff gives you something different. He gives you a metallic red paint job. Out of the paint jobs, I'll get it out of the way straight away. This is much nicer. It's a beautiful red, but this does come with major downsides, and I'm not sure if you can pick it out, but on the top straight away, you can see I've already slightly chipped the paint, which is majorly annoying, to be honest with you. I've only had these guys since Saturday. It's now Tuesday. I've transformed them to robot once, back to vehicle once, and obviously I'll transform them to robot to show you guys later, but I've already chipped him twice. Just thought there's the third one there. Other than that, the detailing is exactly the same. I mean, identical. Underside, exactly the same. Paint job wise, go with this. As you can see, there are, with the detail on the work, going back into car mode isn't that easy. Some of the panels don't line up as well. In all, hugely successful, beautiful things. Anyone who knows me on the forums knows I'm a massive alternators and Bionic fan. It's why I collect Transformers, because of the real world accuracy. And I got these two because, in my eyes, they are the smaller robots in the show, so they're going to be the smaller robots in the the alternators line. And these guys scale perfectly to the alternators. I mean, they're beautiful. Bit of quality control issue. I do have some scuff paint, which I'm not sure you're going to be able to pick up there on the hip. And some of the paint on the yellow is a bit thinner. It doesn't seem, because it's been painted over black plastic, it just doesn't seem to do it as well. But overall, two hugely beautiful, successful little robot vehicle modes. Highly recommend it, each and every one of you. It's even worth getting two to keep them one in this mode. Anyway, robots, because otherwise I'm going to run out of time. And here we have the Alternity pair in their robot modes. The first thing you'll notice is those massive chest areas. Now, they look huge, and in the promotional pictures they looked even worse, but actually they're not at all bad, and you barely notice it when you have the figure transformed. To give you a side on, there we are. I mean, realistically, you've got almost as much back cable coming out as you have on this chest, and the way that everything slides up inside and clips together, I mean, the engine becomes the crotch plate, and that sort of just becomes an extra panel of armour. It really goes together nicely. Looking at the back cable, there isn't much that can be done about it, unfortunately. You kind of just tuck it down and hope for the best. It does give the impression of the wings, or the jet ski device that came on the classics ones, almost the extra little bit on the back there. The weapons here on Cliff are actually stored on the knees. There's two little clips inside and actually make up part of the engine, which is a nice little touch, also tying back to the Alternate line where the alternators Binaltech line where everything was integrated into the alt mode. There was no extra parts. Detailing on this is, I should expect, amazing. I mean, let's have a close look at Cliff's head sculpt, if that light doesn't completely destroy any image you might get of him. It's amazingly accurate, it's amazingly beautiful, it looks like a comic book character, it's stunning. But, you look further down and the legwork is amazing. They almost remind me of movie toys, and I'm not a big fan of the movie toys at all, but the detail on the legs is just robotically amazing. There are, numerous pivots and bits moving in and out and twists and turns, and the articulation is absolutely amazing. I haven't quite got used to balancing these yet, so I'm not a big one for flipping them around and trying to get different positions out of them. Look at Bumblebee hair sculpt. He's got his horns. The face is very much reminiscent of Generation 1 Bumblebee. He looks fantastic. The legs have one major drawback for me. These the feet aren't exactly massively stable to start with, but these little heel spurs here will remove nails. Guarantee you that. You will find out what that tool for removing stones from horses' hooves on a penknife is for with those. They are rock solid. As with just about every Japanese Transformer I own, actually, all the joints are really tightly done, really nice. I've got to sum up fairly quickly because I don't have much time after rambling on in the first mode. But these guys are beautiful. They're absolutely fantastic. Don't let the Photoshop or my poor camera work put you off these guys because of these massive chest areas. The better one, if you're going to buy one, is Cliff. Just be very careful of the paintwork. I'm not sure if you can pick it out, but as you can see, there's some red marking down there. That's just when I was transforming and put him into place, and his red paint scratched off on white paper. Not great. Not good, Takara. Bumblebee looks like Bumblebee. If you can, pick up both. Are these worth the 35 to 40 quid that most people are asking for them? No. To be honest with you, I don't think so. I really don't. I am pleased, very pleased with getting them for the price that I did in the Kapow sale. But I would not pay the immense amount of money that is initially asked for these guys. Get them at a convention, get them in a sale, brilliant. Otherwise, I'd have to say they're brilliant, but they ain't worth 40 quid.